So let's get started, shall we, with the front pages today. How are they reflecting all of the happenings across the country? Well, we're not doing this alone. We're joined by Sultan joins us virtually to walk through the front pages. Good morning, Mr. Ifetaya. So let's start off with, well, the Vanguard newspaper. And the Vanguard newspaper just speaks to some of the points we raised earlier on. You see, there's a picture on the front page showing the vice president and the governor of Delta State with their hands up, right? The vice president holding his hand up, symbolic, obviously, speaking to his move to the APC. So this is a big story. Oborowori Okowa created political tsunami not seen before. And that statement is credited to President Bola Tinubu. But it doesn't end there, Mr. Ifetaya. You see Governor Oborowori himself saying that more governors will move. So all eyes are on the other PDP governors. Who is going to move next? Or will they change their plans, maybe in the name of shame? And some people have said it, you know what, I'm not moving again. Let me stay right here in the party. In fact, the APC national chairman said the same thing. There's another explainer here. It says, our decision for good of Deltans, that's coming from former Governor Ifeanyi Okowa. And you see El Rufai saying, defection of high-profile politicians, governors, widely exaggerated, has no electoral value. That's from former Governor of Kaduna State, who himself defected to the SDP. Speaking on those defections. There's a page 5 read in the Vanguard this morning. Mr. Ifetayo, what do you have to say to this story and, of course, the angles that are coming in?
Well, thank you. Good morning from London. Anyway, defection, is something that we expected, especially among Nigerian politicians, because it's just all about personal interest, and coming from former senator and former governor of Delta State saying it's for the good of Delta. So are you saying if you don't defect and the Delta State or people, they will not enjoy the dividends of democracy? These are the issues. It's not just defecting now. What I'm looking up to is maybe a month to the primary. I'm sure there will still be some people who are aggrieved. And the real issue here is what happened to the structure of APC in Delta State. Because I'm sure before they are coming, few individuals, I don't want to mention their name, they have an ambitious whether to become a governor or to become a senator, whatever it is. And just like you rightly pointed out in the studio the other time, that does it change the impact that the people are going to have? It's been noted in this part of our world that they will say that we want to align to the federal government so that we can get more funding or so that we can get more projects. I see that as a lame excuse because the government is for the people, by the people, and all of that. So if you are saying because you want to align, but they must definitely have one excuse or the other, or maybe because the former governor, the issue he had with the ESPC, so that he can have a soft landing and all of that. It's just all about personal interest. It's not just all about the people alone. It's just all about personal interest. And just like you remember as well, politics or election here is a game of number. I don't know what the Mr. President said to the governor and the former governor to canvass that let the South, let them retain presidency, and we need you on our side. And of course, PDP, as we know, Delta State, as we know, has been a PDP state, but moving to another party, like they said, the only thing that is constant is change. We just hope that it's going to bring a good change to the people of Delta State.
Okay, well said, Mr. Fetaya, on this particular issue. As we said, well, no quarrels with politicians for making political moves. However, all we are saying is that don't grasp at straw in trying to make your points. And I totally agree with you on that particular one. Perhaps maybe if you had said what is playing out in the PDP, because we've seen a situation where internal wrangling within political parties at the sub-national level affected outcomes. For instance, Zamfara State, APC won an election, and then because of the internal wrangling, it was given to the PDP because of that. Yes. Remember what happened in River State as well? I think in 2019, the internal wrangling within the APC, that's how they could not fill the candidate. They now used an SPV to drive. So perhaps it's where they are coming from. That can make a political sense. But every other thing, well, you and I know is as good as grasping at straw. But with the greatest sense of respect, everybody has a right to make political move. Let's go to the Guardian newspaper. Institutional fees, and this is quite interesting. Nigerians should pay attention to this. This is interesting. 51 varsities, others embroiled in illegal deductions from students' loans. 51 varsities, others embroiled in illegal deductions from students' loan. Extra charges institutions make on each NEL fund applicant. This is quite interesting. This is a loan that is interest-free, that is repayable when the people start working after 2 years, if they get a job and all of that. Because I read the piece of legislation, it's about 10 pages that brought this loan together. Mr. Feta, when you see this, what's your response?
It beats my imagination that every platform that we have in this country is just for people or the head of that particular policy to obtain, or whether directly or indirectly from the people that the money or the loan are meant for. When they are complaining of high rise in school fees, high rise in whatever it is that is going on, and here is a platform that felt that, oh, finally, I think the government, they are doing the right thing, and somebody is sitting down elsewhere to make sure to defeat the purpose or obtain. It's so alarming. And I think EFCC should swing to action. You know, sometimes when you continue to do something and expect different results, I think we have not started. If there are deterrents, if they arrest one or two people, they made them to feel the full throttle of the law, and it will be a lesson or it will be a deterrent to others who want to maybe such policy. What are we going to do for our people to have an impact and say, yes, when I went to school, I didn't have money to pay my fee. The federal government or the state government did A, B, C, D to give me a soft landing. You know, they should know all this is all about is for people. And I don't know when they will sit down and say, whatever it is we are doing, how can we impact our people? How can we impact the students? And you see, not just only the institution alone, the lecturer, they have their own. That will be a discussion for another day, that if you don't buy these handout, 2 marks or 5 marks, you know, will be deducted from your mark. I think when they are putting such a thing down, next time, the EFCC should be invited. The agency should investigate. Whatever it is they have deducted should be refunded back, or they should make them also to pay a fine. Because you can't, government will say, oh, this one, they got it right, and somebody is trying to sabotage it. It's not good. It's not nice for us.
Well, Mr. Fetai, I couldn't help but ponder on your initial commentary on the lead story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper as far as Monday's political tsunami is concerned, particularly with regards to your question about what happens to the APC structure in Delta State, who is now the leader of the party in Delta State because of, previous ambitions of former Deputy Senate President Uvi Omoagege. What happens even to the PDP structure now in Delta State? Is the house, the PDP house now a hollow one? Or as Jeffrey would say, the difference between the PDP and the APC now, it looks more like, between 6 and half a dozen. But whether perhaps you'll be responding to that as you also look at the front page of Blueprint newspaper. It's the same story that is leading. But take a look at the riders. There are just 2 of them. Deltans want to get connected to Abuja, show Tinubu love. The second one is the one that catches my attention. Governor 2 links defection to APC-led government's performance. That particular second one, Mr. Fetayo, and of course the structure of both parties in Delta State. I'd like you to, reflect on those 2 issues.
What is performance? I've not seen any performance in this government that the defection is led to APC performance. How has it bettered the lot or the life of people in Delta State? It's just only personal ambitions, and if they know that, like somebody said, although I can verify that, maybe the governor does not want to be disturbed. In 2027, he wants to have a soft landing, and of course, his benefactor or the former governor, that's Senator Kowa, with the case with EFCC. So, of course, they'll just be rubbing it on our face. Regardless, whatever, even we've seen it, just like El-Rufai, they definitely make an excuse. I don't have any problem associating. There's freedom of association if you want to go, but making a lame excuse and all of that, how has it affected the life of people? Will he make sure that the security situation in Delta State will be tackled, the issue of herdsmen and farmers and all of that? So those are the issues that we are talking about, not just because you want your personal ambition and all of that. You make a deal with the government at the top, and so that you can have a soft landing. Whatever it is, it's left for them. We just want that. We just hope that it will affect or it will make a positive impact in the life of people in Delta State. All
right, Mr. Ifetayo, something tells me that we're not quite done with this particular subject matter. We may be back here in the coming days. But we must thank you very much for your analysis and always for being on this particular segment of the program. Mr. Ifetayo Adeni is a media analyst. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Of course, we'll be back after this break to bring you more, this time about what you're saying about the big story. So stay with us. We'll be right back.